Abundance is fragile and no match for greed. In the age before memory, there was one world, ruled by sprawling empires of staggering power, conquerors, builders, extractors, who looked upon a land of impossible riches and said, "We want more." Every mine dug too deep, every war fought too long, every river bled dry. Beneath it all, the ley lines, the invisible seams holding reality together, began to dim, to thin, to fray at the edges like a rope pulled too tight. Nobody noticed. Nobody looked until it was too late. What happens when you squeeze a world too hard for too long? The answer, it turns out, is everything. Everything happens. The world, it seemed, had been tallying its wounds. Every splinter signed in a ledger. And when it was time to collect, it came for everything. A thick cloud of poison rolled across the land, choking the air from coast to coast. The sun swelled, bloated beyond reason. Too hot, too close. The floods came next, then the storms, then earthquakes that shook and shattered the land. Great mountains, standing since the dawn of time, came down like stacked stones. Rage, a mighty red worm, observed all this from high atop his mountain. He'd been there long before the first empire drew a border, and would be there long after it fell. He did not stir, but simply watched, and found the whole affair rather beneath him. When the boundaries between worlds finally gave way, quietly, without warning, it wasn't a negotiation. The world wasn't ending, it was buckling. The empires had wanted more. Well, friends, they were going to get more indeed. The ley lines didn't just hold the realm together. They kept each plane in place. The Fey Plain, where streams flow uphill and forests shift when no one's looking. The Shadow Plain, gray, static, eternal. The plains of fire, earth, and water, of chaos and death, but also light and life, separated by nothing but those invisible threads. Deep in the Blackmoor forest, nymphs had guarded the boundaries since before empires had names. They felt the tremors, but could not stop it. When the lines gave out, the plains bled into each other like ink in water. From the Shadow Plain seeped distorted silhouettes, moving as if reenacting events from another age, neither hostile nor benevolent, simply present. What crept in from the lower plains? Well, that was another matter entirely. Through each breach, mana flooded in, raw, vast, uncontrolled. The realm was saturated by this dark gift. Those who learned to wield it gained untold powers. But such power has a way of drawing attention. Across the plains, ancient and hungry things were already watching, already waiting. Wars raged as empires vied for supremacy, not for glory or principle, but for the scraps left over from the great calamities, the last clean river, the last unpoisoned field, the last hill that hadn't yet crumbled into the sea. Ultimately, none emerged victorious. In their fervor, they destroyed each other and themselves. What followed was silence. Among the ruins, a handful of survivors. Magnor of the once great Titans wandered volcanic wastelands alone, tending rivers and dams of lava. The Phyrexian Empire would later thank him for preserving the great lowlands. Other than the stragglers, a melting pot of creatures new and old roamed freely. By default, the land had become theirs. The world had been scoured, its sordid history slowly wiped clean by time and otherworldly magic. And then, amidst the silence, a new alliance looked at the ruins and decided this was not, in fact, the end of the story. They called themselves the Calamities. They were here not to take, they were here to repair and to hope. The Calamities were inventors, tinkerers who looked at the overflowing mana and thought, what if we put that to work? They fused steel and sorcery, a technique they called runemancy, the art of carving intention into metal, of binding mana to gears, cogs, and steam, until the machine itself becomes power. Power with purpose. And with that power, they devised the obelisk shield, 8 monolithic pillars that were 100 feet high, 30 feet long, 20 feet deep, and other measurements as well. The pillars were assembled by the finest rune crafters, resourceful minds who prided themselves on turning trash into treasure, and infused with magic by Scavo technomancers, brilliant mole-like artificers who melded mana to mechanism. Tethered by rune-carved stones, they wove a protective layer over the world. The rifts sealed, and thus the long collapse ceased, and the realm slowly healed. The Calamities' runic system became the infrastructure powering the world, and for eons there was a semblance of balance. Such bountiful mana, however, would not stay hidden forever. Something dark, ageless, and patient lurked between planes, and it was itching for a way in.